Hello, wrestlers and family members. I just wanted to take the time to create a video celebrating the wrestling season 2019-2020. I just wanted to create something for the seniors who unfortunately aren't going to get their final wrestling banquet. And so, with that being said, just wanted to go over and give out some awards and just look back and celebrate the season that we had. So, as a team, the varsity went a total of 10-3, and so those losses came to very good schools, but we also were able to win first place, the Downey duels as a team, which was a great accomplishment for all the wrestlers, for myself as a coach, and it really brought us together for that season. Without the help of the seniors, really leading the way, leading the charge, and exactly what I expected of them. They did not hesitate to reach those standards. So extremely proud of the team. Also, we've had multiple league champions come out of all levels of the varsity, JV, and freshman. And so with that being said, I just wanted to take this time now to introduce your freshman team. So the Downey Wrestling FROSH Soft team, they really don't have FROSH Soft level dual meets or tournaments. Occasionally they do, but most of the time, a lot of these freshmen and sophomore, they get thrown into the JV lineup, just because there's a lot more JV tournaments, and so a lot of these first year wrestlers, they had to step up, and they were wrestling some wrestlers that may have had 3 years experience. I'm extremely proud of the FROSH Soft team. Their willingness to be introduced to this program, and I've set extremely high standards for how they're supposed to practice, how they're supposed to behave, and I don't think I've been disappointed with them at all. Their willingness to get in there and to wrestle, have fun, it really shows me that the future of the Downey wrestling program has huge upside potential. We have such a long way to go, and we could achieve our dreams, and it really starts with this young class. I have a couple of awards, and as we go through the levels, the team levels such as JV and varsity, they're the same awards, but they're going to be given to those to different wrestlers. So we're actually going to start off with the Downey FROSH Soft Wrestling 2019-2020 season, the most exciting match. This is actually going to go to Alex Saravia. And so you can't really see it, but Alex had probably one of the most exciting matches that we saw at the league finals. He has a little bit of a wrestling experience, and his single leg is really coming along. And to see him wrestle a lot of those Warren kids and beating them down, was just really exciting to see, because as a coach, you want to see your wrestlers succeed, especially against our rivals, and for him to do that as a freshman actually shows me that we're actually going to have a really good team in a couple years, especially as he's matured. And now that I saw him in the summer, he's already put on 2 inches in height. He's getting a little bit bigger. It's going to be fun to see him develop, and especially fun to see all of these freshmen develop. So this award goes to Alex Saravia. And then on Monday, or one of the days, I'm going to text everybody. So if you got an award, you can actually pick up those awards. So congratulations, Alex. This next award is actually going to go to most dedicated of the FROSH Soft team. This award is going to go to Alex Pineda. Reason why I picked this young man is just because his work ethic is just unmatched, and he was actually outworking a lot of the upperclassmen in the room. One thing that actually struck me the most is he actually had a loss to a Paramount wrestler, and so the first loss he had him kind of beat him pretty bad. Took a couple matches. Took a couple points on him. And the next day we came back, and he was on it. He was drilling hard. He was working hard, and that pretty much sums up his whole season. It's just trying to get better. And so at league finals, he lost the finals match for the JV title for league champion to that same wrestler. And he comes off the mat. He comes up to me, and I could tell he's disappointed. And I look at him and I say, "You want to beat that kid?" He says, "Yes." And I said, "Then let's do it." And I know for a fact that the next time that they pair up, It's gonna happen. All right, it's gonna happen eventually. And so that's why this award's gonna go to Alejandro Pineda. So congratulations. Really look forward to the next season. All right, so this next award is going to be the most improved for the Downey FROSH team. This award is going to go to Jose Luis Cortez. So, Cordy, you're the most deserving of this award. Since day one, you've always been a gamer. You've been ready. You've been willing to work, and to kind of see you develop as a wrestler and seeing you asking questions and trying to get better. And you've already improved so much that it's just been really awesome as a coach, and especially, and I speak on behalf of all the coaches, that we can count on you to constantly work, constantly improve, and constantly wanting to learn. And that's, I think, probably the most important aspect as a wrestler. In other sports, you can kind of get by in athletic ability, and Cordy is athletic. But one of the things that is probably one of the best things that stands out among the rest is your ability to learn and your ability to want to get better. There's so much wrestling technique, and everybody has different styles and different techniques, and to see him come along as a wrestler has just been really great, and I really look forward to the next 3 years with this young man. Okay, so this next award is most inspirational. I really like this award. I feel like when you have a wrestler who inspires other wrestlers to want to be better, to want to achieve great things, it just helps with the entire team as a whole. And I've really been talking to the guys about encouragement, about being the best that they can be. Not too much, don't worry too much about winning, but just become a better person. And one of my goals as a wrestling coach is to help these boys become young men. And to see some of these wrestlers kind of have, the odds are almost stacked against them, and they want to keep coming back. It's just amazing to see. So this particular wrestler, he actually has a little bit of a disability. He has he can't move a part of his body as much as he could. However, it hasn't stopped him. He actually comes from a wrestling family, and when I first talked to his mom said that he didn't want to come. He was scared to wrestle. He thought he couldn't do it. And so the whole entire season, he stuck in there. He was doing everything that he could. And then towards the end of the season, I wasn't even having to encourage him anymore. He was just doing what he needed to do. And so for that coming from this young man, it's just really inspirational. And that's one of the great things about wrestling, is that it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you're tall, if you're short, if you're big, if you're skinny. It doesn't matter. Wrestling, if you want to be good, you just have to work at it. And so this is a testimony to this young man, Moises Perez Godinho. You're deserving of this award. Absolutely love having you in the wrestling room. I think the wrestlers love having you as well. You're an awesome kid, and we got another 3 years, and we're going to make it work, okay? So definitely excited to see you progress as a wrestler and into a young man. All right, so this last award is Downey FROSH MVP. This is going to go to probably one of the most hardest working wrestlers on the team. He has great support. Just everybody's taking a liking to him, and everything that you ask him to do, he doesn't even hesitate. I love when I'm coaching this young man, and he's just locked in, and he's just comprehending everything that I'm saying. And as a coach, you just get excited about that, just because they're willing to go the extra mile to get everything done, and they want to succeed, they want to compete. And talking to his dad, he said that he thought he'd only wrestle for 2 years, and then his dad told me that he loves it. He loves wrestling. He loves being a part of the team. And on top of that, he's a freshman. It's just the sky's the limit for this young man. He actually won the varsity spot for the varsity 106 pounds, and he was actually going in at like 98 pounds, 100 pounds, very, very light, but just a gamer. I know things are going to change, especially this year. Probably going to have a little bit of shorter of a season, but we have more time to get ready, to get stronger, so hopefully we can hit the weight room. But I see big things for this young man. And so your Downey FROSH Most valuable wrestler is going to go to Jimmy Rocket Loya. J-Rock, this is for you, buddy. I can't wait to see you grow as a person, as a wrestler, and very, very excited for this freshman class to actually progress. So thank you. Thank you, freshman wrestlers. And so now we're going to move on to the JV team level. So as you could tell, our junior varsity team level is by far the biggest team that we've had at Downey Wrestling. A lot of these wrestlers, some of them go back and forth between JV and varsity. And one of the good things is I've yet to have a JV wrestler who wasn't ready to go on varsity. So all of these young men that are on junior varsity, they've done their time and they've wrestled some varsity matches. Just a really good team overall. A lot of these the JV wrestlers, they were there with me in my first year, which was the previous year. And so now to see them in their third year of wrestling and my third year of coaching, it's going to be really exciting. I'm just looking forward to them as a team, and a lot of these JV wrestlers are going to move up to the varsity level and replace some of those seniors. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with the awards. So our first award is going to be most exciting match. This is going to go to a wrestler he's exactly what the award is for. He's just exciting to watch. I want to say, and I don't remember what duel it was. It might have been. I think it might have been Gar High School. We were dueling Gar High School, and he goes out there, he blows a whistle, and he just attacks his opponent. He's hand fighting. He's slamming him. He's snapping his neck down. He's going after him, and he grabs him. All right, and the kid just kind of went limp, and he threw him down on the mat, just like a rag doll. And once he goes on the mat, Luis Moreno just runs at him and bulldozes him over, and it was just a sight to see. The crowd's going wild. Our team, our side, the guys on the side, they're screaming their heads off. I was screaming my head off, and just every time he wrestles, it's just something very, very exciting. So Luis Moreno, this is for you, buddy. He's a junior. This was actually his first year wrestling. So next year he's going to be a senior, more experience. Wish he would have started a little bit earlier, but it is what it is. Really looking forward to Luis coming back next year, and hopefully he earns a starting spot. All right, so most exciting match for Downey JV Wrestling season 2019-2020 goes to Luis Moreno. All right, so our next award is going to be the JV Wrestling Most Improved. This award is going to go to Noah Mark. I met Noah summer camp last year. Him and a couple of his friends, they decided to join wrestling. Right from the get-go, Noah is very outgoing, very positive. He's definitely took almost of a leadership role, especially with all the new wrestlers that started in the summer camp. They could really look to Noah, as he's more than willing to help them. I don't think I've ever seen a kid smile so much. He's always smiling, always in a good mood. And he's a great wrestler, really picked it up from the beginning. So he started, just as a regular wrestler, learning the basics. And then towards the end of the season, he had a really good shot at winning the league title. Came up a little bit short. One of his favorite things that I saw him was just that snap down underhook Hawkeye straight to someone's back, and he hit that multiple times. Really great to see him improve as a wrestler and just as a person, just a great kid. So this award goes to Noah Mark. All right, our next award is going to go to Most Dedicated. So this young man actually transferred from a private school. He came to Downey High School. He is very, very quiet, kind of a little bit more relaxed, but he is a hard worker nonetheless. He is probably one of the most hardest working kids on the team. If I ask him to do something, it's yes, sir. I will do that right away. And that is Mark Carino. Mark has been an awesome time coaching you. He just loves wrestling, and when he goes out there and he wrestles, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we're drilling, if he's wrestling his teammate, or if he's actually wrestling someone he doesn't know. He just gives it 100%. Very, very aggressive, always attacking, and this is actually what I want all of our wrestlers to do. We want to score as much as possible, and he embodies that. Everything that he does, he gives it everything he has. Very smart young man, very respectable young man. I want my wrestlers to be like him. So, Mark, this is for you. Thank you so much for coming to Downey High School. I look forward to our next season, his senior year. All right, so next award, most inspirational. I absolutely love this award. I've always loved underdogs, especially kids that aren't so sure of themselves, and to see them kind of mature and develop is just awesome for me to see. I think that's probably one of the big reasons why I love coaching. I love doing what I do. I love teaching, is because I like to see people grow, and for some of those kids to really shine and to inspire others, and I just love that. So I first met this young man last year at Downey Summer Camp. Very, very quiet. I don't think he said that many words to me. Just yes, sir. He's just a quiet person. However, he's tough as nails. Everything, when he's drilling, when he's running, I see him and he's just working. And one of the things about this young man is he doesn't have a lot of words, but he lets his actions speak for him. And that's gonna go to Michael Segovia. Michael, just to see you wrestle has been truly amazing. You inspire me to want to be better. You inspire your teammates to want to be better. He's definitely the toughest kid that we have at Downey High School, without a doubt. He does not complain at all. We'll be conditioning, we'll be running sprints, wrestling, drilling, whatever it is, and he is working. That's the thing that he does. He lets his actions speak for him. And so, Michael, tough as nails, Segovia, this award's for you, man. You're so tough. Love it. That's what Downey Wrestling is. All right, and our last award, JV MVP. Also another kid that I met last year in summer camp. He was a junior and decided just to take up wrestling. Him and his friend joined, and right away he just took a liking to it. At the Downey versus Warren duel, the JV team, we kind of got our butt kicked, but when he went out there, he was ready. He wanted to wrestle. He wanted to be there. He wanted to win, and he believed in himself. That's one of the things that I think really sets a great wrestler apart. Everybody has the tools. Everybody, you could be just as strong. You could be just as fast. You could have the same technique. However, if you believe in yourself, it's going to set you apart. And so that's what I want my wrestlers to start doing. That's going to help them in life in general. Believing in themselves, believing that they could get things done when they want to. He went out there against the Warren competitor, and he did everything he was supposed to do. He was listening, and it just showed all that hard work just paid off. He's going to be a senior. This again was his first year, but he could break the lineup. So this award, this Downey JV Most Valuable Wrestler, is going to go to Alex Martinez. Hope to see you soon. Come get this award when you can. All right, and thank you so much for being part of the team. And that is your JV wrestlers. So now we're going to go ahead and introduce the varsity team. Varsity team had a lot of ups and downs. We had a lot of hurt seniors. So that kind of dwindled kind of team morale. But overall, came together. So without further ado, varsity wrestlers. So your Downey varsity wrestlers had a really great season. We finished top 10 in multiple tournaments, including the tournament that we hosted, including a very tough Raul Huerta tournament in Moreno Valley. So really great season overall. We had 2 league championships at 145 and 160, which is Jordan Vega, Rafael Guerra. And then we had 2 CIF placers. So overall, we had a really good season. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on these awards. So first award is going to go to most exciting match. So the most exciting match actually comes down to league finals. It was actually against Dominguez. So one of our studs, Josh Bertle, shout out to Big Josh, he got hurt. And so he had a huge gash in the Paramount duel on his chin. And I decided that for his safety that it'd probably be best if he didn't continue wrestling because he had to get stitches. And I just didn't want him to get injured any more than he could. And so since he was injured, we had a freshman take his place. And that freshman was Josh Chan. And he wrestled at league finals very well. He beat the Dominguez kid, and he actually punched his ticket to go to CIF, where he actually won a match as a freshman in a CIF level tournament. And so just to see him develop, and he had a little bit of wrestling experience, but just an overall great kid. And I'm really looking forward to it for his sophomore year. And he'll probably make a break at the varsity lineup. So most exciting match goes to Josh Chan. So our next award is actually going to go to Most Dedicated. Most Dedicated is going to go to one of our varsity captains, our league champion at 145 pounds, which is Jordan Vega. Reason why I picked Jordan Vega for Most Dedicated is just the amount of hard work that he's put in. This is in the wrestling room. This is in the classroom. I actually had Jordan in my U.S. history class last year. Just a great student, just a great kid, very kind, funny kid, and definitely one of the leaders on our team. Vega, there was times where he was overweight and he had to put in the extra miles, going to the gym, lifting weights, and he wouldn't hesitate to actually help our lower classmen. It'd be almost every practice. After practice, you would see him with a underclassmen, and they're drilling on stuff, they're working on things. And so he is the leader that I wanted, and that's why I picked him as a captain, just a competitor. And I wish him nothing but the best of luck as he goes on to his next stage of life. It's going to be very sad to see Jordan go, especially since I met him 2 summers ago, and just to see his growth, just even by then, as a wrestler and as a competitor, is just awesome to see. So Jordan, this award's for you. Our next award is going to be Most Improved. This is actually going to go to probably one of the most popular kids on our team, one of our favorites, class clown, whatever it is. But he does everything for the team. And so this is actually going to go to Angel Mouse Monero. Mouse, squeak, squeak. This is for you. And I know you're watching this video and you're squeaking right now. I decided to give this award to you because when we started out, I think we went to, it might have been just the beginning of the season tournament. It might have been varsity. And I remember that you were stage fright. I remember that you couldn't shake it. You were very timid. And then at CIF, you got a rematch against the Warren kid, and you beat him. You came back, you took it to him, you pinned him, and then you won another match at CIF. So coming from the kid who was scared to go out there and scared to perform, he really did like a 180 and decided to wrestle for his team. And that's all he wanted. All I want all of our wrestlers is just to not worry about the outcome and just try your best. And I think he was finally able to kind of adjust, and it really paid off for him. And I gotta say, having this kid around is just awesome. He really brightens everybody's day, and he does everything for the team. So Mouse, this award is for you. And next award is gonna go to Most Inspirational. This is actually also gonna go to one of our senior captains. This goes to Gibby. The reason why I picked Gibby is at the beginning of the year, we were about to start season, and he had a heartfelt speech. He decided that he was actually going to step up and in weight just so that he can fill a slot in our team. And him doing so almost guaranteed us 6 points. He really was unmatched, just basically on his skill set, his leadership qualities, and in the beginning of the season, he gave a heartfelt speech that pretty much almost all the wrestlers were in tears, and he was crying. But he wanted to show everybody that that we can get things done. And for him to go all 4 years of wrestling, and him telling me that how much he loves wrestling, he appreciates it. That's why I decided to give this to Gibby, especially for our senior captain to lead the way. Very excited for your next stage in life, Gibby. You're an awesome kid, and I hope to see you back soon sometime. So our final two awards, very, very important because they emphasize leadership, dedication, hard work, and all of those things combined. Really, what makes wrestling wrestling. Both of these wrestlers have gone above and beyond what they were able to do. They have put in the work necessary in the classroom and as well as the wrestling mat. So my first award that I'm going to give out is actually going to go to most valuable wrestler. So this wrestler had a great showing at CIF. He ended up placing at CIF and had a great run at the Masters wrestling tournament. During the season, he was able to become a tournament champion, which is not an easy thing to do. Very great reward, especially for all the hard work. And so with the record of 41-8, this award is going to go to Rafael Guerra. So I want to talk a few things about Rafa. Is one of the great things, especially with him placing at CIF, is that he's only a sophomore. So the wrestling program is going to have a stud for the next 2 years, and that's really going to help the program. It's going to help his other teammates. And one of the things I'm so proud of Rafa is his ability to adjust, especially from his very first year in high school to now. So his freshman year, he could have done great things, even his freshman year. However, I mean, when you're not doing so well in school, you can't wrestle. And so for this year, for him to adjust and to take the things to do the things that he needed to do, such as go to tutoring and doing his homework, he was finally able to go on the wrestling mat and really shine. And he's a very talented wrestler. I'm so proud of this kid, just because he has done everything that I've asked for him. And we've had a rocky start, a rocky relationship. And I just want him to know that I really care for him as a person, not just as my wrestler. I want him to succeed in life. I really love this kid. I love his family, great family support, and I want nothing but the best for him. And so for this award is going to go to Rafael Guerra. All right, looking forward to him for the next 2 years. And lastly, our last award, probably, I believe, one of the most important awards, just because it encompasses everything that we want from our wrestlers. And that award is going to go to Matthew Mendoza as our coach's award. Matthew, I'm so proud of you. You're just an awesome kid. I was so happy to be your coach for these last 2 years. I wish I was there even your freshman year. But just the ability and my opportunity to coach you for those 2 years has just been awesome. Things I can say about Matthew is an awesome kid, smart young man, about a 3.8 GPA, CIF placer. And I think one of the proudest moments for me as a coach was when he avenged a loss that he had at the league finals. So he actually wrestled a Paramount wrestler, Fernando, and Fernie's a tough guy. Last year, he beat Matt in the league finals. And so Matt's junior year, he lost to him. And it just so happened that they were in the same weight class again this year. And so at league finals, it was just a nail biter. Everybody was on the edge of their seat watching Matt and Fernie wrestle. And Matt started off really strong. Fernie started coming back, and it actually ended up going to overtime. And the score had to be 10-10 or 12-12, a high-scoring match. And Matt, he came up short that day, and Fernie got him. So Fernie became the league champion. Well, it just so happened that Matt paired up with him again at CIF in a very, very important match. And so in this match, if Matt would win, he would go to CIF or would go to Masters for sure. And if he lost, he would drop down to the 5th place match where he would have to win in order to go to Masters. And so Matt was ready to go, and I didn't want to tell him, but I was so nervous. I was so nervous to watch him wrestle because Fernie got him 3 times. Fernie got him twice, and so I told Matt, I said, "Look, man, just go out there, have fun. You have nothing to lose. He is nervous." I said, "He's nervous. He's scared to wrestle you. Go after him." And that entire match, on the edge of our seats, watching him and just going back and forth, and Matt would eventually win that match and avenge his loss. Probably one of the most proudest moments for me as a coach, to see all that hard work, all of the time that it took, especially for him being a 3.8 GPA student, and also being such a successful wrestler, is just amazing to me. He is the embodiment of Downey wrestling, what I want all wrestlers to achieve. In the classroom, on the wrestling mat. Been an absolute pleasure to have coached Matt. I can go on and on, but Matt, this award's for you. So, all right, so that concludes the awards. Hopefully next year we can have a real banquet. I was planning on having on a nice banquet. I love to see the kids dress up very nice in ties and make it a big deal and have dinner. So hopefully next year we can do that. I want to say thank you so much to all of the people that helped me out. I want to thank you so much to all the parents. Jimmy Loya Sr., Anthony Vega, Gwen, Maria Ruano, you guys have helped me out so much. I want to say big shout out to Coach Aldape, especially at a time when it was just me and 60 wrestlers, and he really came through to help me out. So there wouldn't be a wrestling program without the parental support and also those assistant coaches. Really helped me out. I absolutely love Downey wrestling. This is now gonna be my 3rd year coming up, and I'm just as excited to see where we can go. I want to thank so much to those senior captains, Daniel Elnaboot, Jordan Vega, Matt Mendoza. Thank you guys, and Gibby Colchado. You guys are pretty much the embodiment of Downey wrestling, and you have carried on the legacy of when you were freshmen, those seniors who were your captains. You've carried their legacy. That is Downey wrestling. Hopefully, when we start back up again and we're over this virus, that you guys can come back and wrestle with those younger classmen to get them ready for the season. And so with that being said, I just, again, thank you guys so much. And have a great summer.